Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back.
Women of all ages.
And
Children
shapes and sizes.
Yeah, hey, we're going to have the F-bomb here.
We are?
Boom!
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Got a blank look from all the faces.
That was a landmine.
It's time.
Here she comes. Y'all duck. Here we go.
That was a bomb in the key of G. If you want to get a copy of that, just let us know.
That's right.
G. Was that G? Luke,
It
was
was
that
G.
G?
Yeah, it was a key of G.
Yeah,
Okay. Key G.
I don't have pitch perfect, but I'm pretty sure that was a G.
Gee whiz. Gee
Oh,
whiz.
yeah.
Where'd that
Oh,
bomb
yeah.
come from? We're going to what if today. What if, current events, the things in the news right now are certainly a lot going on with all these shootings of people by police officers and people shooting police officers and stuff. And it's a very
Unrest.
Yeah, a lot of civil unrest. So our F-bomb today is, if you could give a message to all American people of all walks of life, all backgrounds, of all sentiments, of all religions, all whatever,
Face.
what would you say to them here in America? What would your message be about what's going on and what we could and should do about it? Maybe
The thing that I'll tell you what I would say. But first, I'd like to say what I'd love to hear other people say, and that's the people in power and the people of our leaders, our so-called whatever. Quit reading to me from a teleprompter. And I'm not talking
That's right.
any particular person, because I think they all do it. Talk to me from your heart.
From your heart.
Talk to me from what you really know.
How you really
Not
feel.
what you think a group of highly paid, highly educated, overeducated people to make sure you don't offend anybody. Tell me what you really feel.
That's right. And don't have
Tell
somebody
me.
to write the speech for you.
No. Tell me
That
what
way
you.
that way I know it's you and I know how you
Exactly.
feel and who you
I
are and
would
what
tell
you
them,
are.
you tell me how you feel, and I'm going to tell you how I feel.
Okay.
I feel like I'm pro-law enforcement,
Sure.
and I support our law enforcement. And I don't think that I have to be anti-anybody to be pro-law enforcement. I don't have to be against any group of people. I don't have to be against any religion. I don't have to be against any
Creed.
or anybody of any color or any shades or
Beliefs
minorities or majorities
prejudices
or
or whatever.
anybody to be pro-law enforcement. I think the only anti I have to be is anti-thugs,
Yeah.
anti-gangsters, anti-people that would go out of their way to harm other
Anarchists.
people, anarchists, people that would destroy the property of other people to get their point across. Those people, yes, I am against those people.
That's right, because
But-
if we don't have a set of laws in this country to go by, it's going to dissolve into total anarchy.
Into anarchy. So I'm against those.
And how about closing down the freeway for 5 hours?
Anybody that would do anything
That's outrageous.
to stop progress, anybody would do anything to hurt other people, and not just physically, but hurt them emotionally, hurt them by their words, people that would be divisive towards other people or other groups,
Yeah.
people that would pit themselves and take themselves on as we against y'all. I don't stand for that. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're half Native American and half European, and you decide that you're a special group and that you need to be pitied, you need to be listened to, you need to be catered to.
Pampered
There's some people, and I'm not saying any group, don't get me wrong, bring a lot of things on themselves.
they truly do.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think there's very many examples, and I'd like you to show them to me if there are, of somebody that fully complied with law enforcement's directives towards them that's been shot.
Yeah.
There is a place to air your grievance. There's a place to air your case if you think you've been falsely arrested or falsely accused, and it ain't on the side of the road.
No, it ain't.
It ain't when you've been stopped. And if you'll fully comply, I don't believe anything's going to happen to you. And you say, oh, you don't know. You don't. I do know a little bit. I've been around, and I know that I'm not going to. There's people in every aspect of life, every group, that are bad. I mean, they're bad.
There has to be.
They're bad people.
Unfortunately,
They're bad
there has to be.
apples. But that goes back to that old saying, one bad apple don't spoil a bunch. And when you start saying the police are breaking the law, no, the police aren't. One bad apple broke the law. One bad person did something wrong. And that doesn't put you at odds with that entire group.
That's true.
Because what one officer did doesn't mean you have to be anti-police.
And try to rally people against
the police.
that.
And that's what's going on right now. And a lot of times, and not everybody's doing that, but I'm saying certain people are doing that. And I'm against that. So I've said enough. Y'all can talk about
What do you
it a
think,
little
Mel?
bit now.
What would you tell everybody? Hello, this is Mel Jackson, and
If you could address people.
America right now with all the current victory and all the civil unrest and the turmoil going right now, what would you say to them? You think, as far as calm down, knock it off, or whatever?
Well, just that.
Chill pill.
Let's get back to the Bible, guys.
That's a good foundation.
But then, I realize not everybody.
Then they're going to go eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, I would tell them
that.
that if you want to go to that, I'd tell them there is a balm in Gilead.
Yeah.
Not a bomb. A balm.
Yeah, right.
The
B-A-L-M.
if balm.
A healing balm.
Maybe we should start doing if bombs.
If balms, how
Yeah.
we soothe
Yeah.
the soul there.
Yeah.
I would tell people be careful with the media, because too many people will lock into one source, and that source could be pretty radical, and they would lean everything to this direction or that direction, and that's all they believe. I would say get out there and read a lot, listen to a lot, and I'm not talking about just junk on Facebook. I'm talking about actual news sources that are on television, and I hate to say that, on the radio, in newspapers, and get a well-rounded view of everything that's being said, then make up your own mind. Because you can just, if you only listen to one source, you're going to be leaning that way, and chances are it might not be the right way or what's best for the whole country. Let's take everything into consideration and put it all in the bag and shake it up and see what comes out. Somebody put on Facebook last night a thing that I copied onto my wall about how, why don't we all just turn the media off, tell them to shut up or whatever for a while, and start loving one another.
Yeah.
And if we did that, and it spread person to person, family to family, neighborhood to neighborhood, we could become a people.
Right.
Not different peoples.
I just wish that the media, because it's made up of many, many, many people, many self individuals.
Yes, with different.
And I wish they had the ability
views.
to rein themselves in, or there's no one control over them.
Well, it's a money thing, too.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, the media.
It sells. Yeah.
It sells. And they get advertisements, and if they don't have a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for, a little bit of
a little bit of excitement,
excitement,
notoriety,
bad press.
Yeah.
But
you
it's
watch-
just like they want to put something on there about Bruce Jenner and Kim Kardashian or any Lady Gaga. That ain't news.
That ain't.
I
That's
mean,
joke.
Yeah.
it's because it sells.
And when they report,
And they
on
got to
things,
sell advertising slots, and it's big business.
in the evening news, and I really tell my wife, I say, I really hate watching local evening news.
It is
because it is
depressing.
just, this teacher at this school, had sex with this kid. Yeah, I mean, how many times do you hear that stuff?
Right, and that shouldn't be broadcast.
And
across the
and I
country.
personally used to be one of the biggest news junkies in the world.
Yeah.
I'd watch the news from about 5 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd watch the news from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and I'd watch the 5 o'clock till about 7 o'clock news, and I'd watch the 11 o'clock
Wow.
news, and I'd read the newspaper. And I got where I hate to now. I mean, literally hate the news.
Because it has
It's the
evolved
same
from
what
thing.
we. I'd like to see back some
It's
of the old,
disintegrated.
the old news like we grew up with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like you say, if it sucks, it sells. But also the mantra seems to be, if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
And they're going to put all the bad stuff out there, and it's all about ratings and beating someone else to the punch, or viewing or luring another viewer over from another channel or another newspaper.
With each tragedy, each national thing, you can almost say, "Oh, I know what the president's going to say on this one." I know what. I mean,
That's right.
you know what it's going.
you know what you're going to hear, so why
Yeah.
even turn it on?
Yeah.
But we need, as a people, need to stay educated, of the facts.
I guess we are
make up our own
educated
minds.
in that we know what's going to be said.
Yeah, you need a baloney detector. To put it, a BS detector. When that goes off, you pay attention to what you're looking at and start weeding it out.
Well, they love to say we are the first ones to report to you about.
Oh yeah, that's big.
We're the only ones with this exclusive interview with so and so, and if it's salacious, they love it. I'm gonna tell you, they'll jump on that.
There's people who only watch the news for that stuff. Those are the people that go out and buy the National Enquirer every
Exactly.
week. They live for that, or that junk that's on Facebook. Not all junk is on Facebook. I mean, but all the side stuff you get on your Facebook page, all these little ads and junk like that. It's sad, and it makes you wonder how much further can it go, and where will it be 20 years from now?
Yeah, and the bad thing is that, and I'm not putting it on Facebook because I'm as bad as everybody. No, well, I use it a lot. Let's say that. I'm not going to say I'm as bad as everybody else. But it gives a voice to a lot of people that didn't think they had a voice. And all those voices aren't right.
Oh, yeah.
And all those voices aren't positive. And all those voices aren't worth listening to. I'm sorry. Everybody does. They got it.
Yeah.
I've got it where I stick to what I say, and a few other people, I don't go reading a lot of posts.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm probably losing people because, our friends or whatever people, because, I mean, I don't go on a lot of those other posts. And I know some people, if they disagree with you, they got to come there and voice that. I see things all the time, and I don't disagree. I do disagree with it, but I don't feel it my obligation to go on their wall and say, wait a minute, blah, 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 and go off on them. But I know some of them that can't stand it. They're going to.
And some of them want to get an argument with
they
you. If
love
you put
it.
something out there, they're
And
ready to
they're-
jump on you. So
People,
Yeah.
I mean, and I just ignore them. I just stay away from them like
I
a plague.
was reading one the other day. These ladies were going back and forth, and it was just kind of getting a little bit meaner and a little bit meaner. I'm thinking, when are they just one of them just going to say, okay,
it was a cat fight.
yeah, enough's enough.
Yeah, I just go.
But the media is not what it used. What we grew up listening to Chet Huntley and David Brinkley, and then later on we trusted them. Later on we trusted Walter Cronkite. And those days are not going to come back. So it's up to us to find out the truth and not only absorb it but share it with our kids and grandkids and teach them how to watch for the truth.
And take things with a grain of salt.
Right.
Judge things for yourself. And if don't believe everything you hear.
Which almost
and
makes
see
you
and
have
read.
to look up all the other medias to verify it.
We're off. We're gone.
We're going. Bye.
So much for the frequency this week.